Hello and welcome to another edition of True Talk. In our most recent True Insights newsletter, I wrote about the value of a weekly reflection because we all have experiences during the week. In fact, we have hundreds of experiences during the week. And if we don't take a little time to reflect on what happened and what it means and what we might learn from it, it's kind of sad. Really, there's so much that happens in that week and over the course of a life that reflection is an opportunity for tremendous learning that we shouldn't ignore. So what I'm saying is also grounded in research. One of the best models that I've seen on this comes from Dr. David Kolb. I have a copy of his model that we use in our training right here from one of the pages that we've used in training manual. And the Kolb model describes 4 different stages of experiential learning or learning from experience. So in the first stage, we have an experience. In the second stage, we should engage in some kind of reflective observation. And what that means is we should think about what happened. How did we feel? What were we thinking? What went well? What didn't go well? What was our behavior? What was going on with other people? We should have some time to reflect on what happened. If you do that, you're already doing pretty well. But there's another step or two in the process. So the third step, Dr. Kolb calls abstract conceptualization. And it's a kind of a big word. It just means that we need to figure out what we learned from the experience and what we're going to do differently next time. In Chinese, the first phase, if you speak Chinese, the first phase is just experience, which is 体验. The second phase is 回顾 and 反思, which is reflective observation. And then the third stage that I just described is it's really 具体化. We're trying to get something concrete from our experience. Now, in the very last stage of the model, we're going to do what's called active experimentation, 实践 in Chinese. And with active experimentation, what we're trying to do is do something new. So an example I might give is my process of learning to pronounce words in Chinese accurately and correctly, to learn fluent Chinese, basically. When I first came to Taiwan, I was not fluent. I was studying textbooks all the time, trying to learn grammar and vocabulary. But what really helped me learn Chinese was to go through this regular cycle of experiential learning. So I would go out and I would say something. And like I might want to ask a question, and instead of saying 请问一下, I would say 请问一下. And everyone would laugh at me because it means something very different. And then I would realize, okay, I would reflect on that, realize I've done something wrong. I'd probably get some feedback from somebody who would help me figure out the right thing to do. And then I would say, okay, so next time I'm not going to say 请问一下, I'm going to say 请问一下 when I want to ask a question. So then I would go and do that. I would experiment with it, and then I might ask somebody, did you understand me? And then I learned. So I repeated that cycle over and over and over again, over 9 months or 12 months, and I was fluent in a very difficult language from doing that. So the power of reflection. And really, it's not just reflection, it's also figuring out what you're going to do differently next time based on the experiences that you've had, and then actually doing that. If you can do all those things, you'll learn a lot more than people who don't take the time to reflect and think about what they've learned. As a friend of mine recently said, when I described the model to him in the process, he said, True, that's kind of like life. And I said, yeah, it is a lot like life, but only for some people, because unfortunately some people don't take the time to reflect on their experiences, decide what it means, and to try something new next time. So thank you for listening. Now go and have your weekly reflection.